The president's remarks to ABC News have been met with astonishment and outrage, especially, well, from Democrats at least.
The message that he seems to be sending now is, as long as a foreign power wants to help his campaign, they can count on him having the good discretion not to alert his own FBI about it.
What the president said last night was beyond astounding.
Once again, we see that the president is willing to engage in criminal conduct.
What he's doing is pernicious. It's questioning the shared values that are the bedrock of our system.
The president is inviting Russia and others to sabotage our elections, risk our democracy to benefit him.
He hasn't learned a single thing, despite all of the experience we've had since 2016.
You don't get in bed with Russians, Chinese, North Koreans, not even Norwegians. It's just wrong.
My hope and prayer would be that someone in the White House would counsel Mr. Trump that he ought to recognize that foreign interference is beyond the pale.
I want to bring in Democratic Congressman Tom Malinowski from New Jersey, who yesterday proposed legislation requiring candidates to report offers of foreign assistance to the Justice Department. Congressman, it's a fine idea, but according to Christopher Wray of the FBI, they should already do that. They should already inform the FBI if they're informed from a foreign power that they got some dirt on one of their opponents.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that should happen and that we've taken for granted for years in America. It's ridiculous that we need a law like this, but obviously we do need it. And the president's comments yesterday are a case in point.
What is it like to fight for Athens against Sparta? I mean, it really does seem like I look at this guy. I'm not going to people on name. It's too personal. I see one after Democrat leading committee chairs all come out with outrage, and 2 days later, the story's forgotten. Trump's home free. He's having dinner and his hamburgers up at the White House, enjoying life with Melania and laughing at you guys because nobody actually does anything. You won't impeach? What else you got in your arsenal? You don't impeach. You don't really scare this guy because he came out last night with George Stephanopoulos, you know, he came out and said, yeah, I do take dirt from the enemy. Yeah, get used to it. We all do it. You guys do it. You guys up on the Hill all do it. And
well, it's very revealing. It's very revealing of his whole worldview. He believes that everybody's a crook, everybody's a cheat, and therefore he'd be a chump if he didn't do it himself.
I know that sounds like the old big machines in the big cities. You're a chump if you don't steal something. But my question to you is, what are you going to do about it?
Well, look, I came out a while back saying we need to start the impeachment process for like 100 reasons. This is just 101st reason. But you know what? The Mueller report is two things. It's an invitation to hold him accountable. It's also an invitation to legislate. And for all those folks out there... You need the
Senate to legislate.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got Mitt Romney who came out today who said this was disgraceful.
Mitch McConnell's not going to help you.
Well, look, my job is to legislate. My job is to propose legislation to try to pass it. I'm going to do my job. I want the Senate to do theirs, and if not, we'll hold them accountable in 2020.
Well, you're a straight arrow, I can tell. You're a straight guy, I can tell. And here's the question. What matter is that? I talked to the Congressman the other day, Ted Lieu. And I said, what does it matter that you care? You're on the impeachment committee, but you're not doing anything. So what does that matter what you think? It just seems that the House has a lot of good members who do want to do something, but they're not. And my question is, what difference is it what you think if you're not doing anything?
Well, Athens did beat Sparta in the end, didn't they?
Well, they lasted longer. Thank you so much, President. Thank you again. You're so smart. I told you one of the smart guys. Thank you. Well, the president again mischaracterized the conclusions of the Mueller report, falsely claiming that his campaign actually rebuffs Russia's outreach to his campaign in 2016. This is a whole new tangle here.
The Mueller report spoke. They were very disappointed. It said no collusion and no obstruction and no nothing. And in fact, it said we actually rebuffed your friends from Russia, that we actually pushed them back. We rebuffed them.
Who are these friends? Your friends from Russia. Anyway, the reality, however, is very different. Mueller's report documented Kremlin links that, quote, included Russian offers to assistance in the campaign, and it stated that in some instances the campaign was receptive to the offer. And when it comes to the infamous Trump Tower meeting in June of 2016, it says that Donald Trump Jr. appears to have accepted that offer. Malcolm?
Well, you know, Donald Trump.
He's just lying again. He's back to number 2.
Well, he's a pathological liar, so he's very good at that. But you have to understand something. This man mastered the intelligence disinformation technique of meta-narratives. He only knows to speak in these simple short phrases, which people will hear in 1 second on television. No collusion, no obstruction. Every person we had speak on the Democratic side cannot say Trump admitted criminality, which is a meta-narrative we need to embrace.
Shanny goes past it, and then he says, you're friends. Like the Russians have become the associates of those who've been indicting this president.
Right,
like,
that he sort of thinks there's this conspiracy or everybody's working together. But to this point, yeah, he is in the sound bites. It's marketing. You repeat the same phrase over and over and over again. You know, it's branding 101.
Speaking
No
of that,
collusion, no obstruction.
Why is Sanders
That's all
leaving?
I need to hear.
Why is Sarah Sanders leaving?
I don't have any direct insight yet. I mean, what everyone is saying is that she's had a very difficult job for the past 2.5 years in the White House, and she has young children and wants to spend time with them. But I will say she is one of the president's closest advisors, most trusted advisors. And as far as people around him who he listens to and who he will take advice from, she was one of the few remaining. So that will be a big void in the West Wing.
Well, she's a soldier, if nothing else.
I was just going to say, Chris, getting back to this soundbite thing, this is an example, one example of why Bob Mueller and Don McGahn have to testify in open hearings. And, you know, it's one thing to read the book. It's a whole other thing to see the movie. And that testimony has to be...
You're confident that he could put on a performance that would convince?
I think at least it could complete the record. It could allow questions and answers, and it could create some sound bites that are actually helpful to the truth.
I'd love to hear him do it. Anyway, thank you, Shannon Pettypiece. Thank you, Greg Brower and Malcolm Nance.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.